Particle is a global community that aims to bring art closer to people and people closer to art. We welcome the curious, contemplatives, and changemakers. Talks by Particle are collaborative, interdisciplinary, and give an immersive opportunity to exchange ideas about themes that matter. Students' Diary is a series of free-flow conversations between students to disentangle major issues and topics from the eyes of the younger generation. Please enjoy.
Hi, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
Okay. So I'm Beatrice, and with Giovanni, I am here representing Culturit, which is an association that takes care of institutions in the cultural field. We organize research projects and consulting projects with many different institutions and agencies in Italy that work in the creative sector. And we're here with Beatrice from Greenlight for Business that I guess you can present yourself.
Yeah, Greenlight for Business is a young initiative that challenges to inspire green businesses and to train leaders to face the future environmental issues. And our projects go from green reports or new ideas for universities campus or the city, the urban city we live in.
I finished the introductions. I'm Giovanni. I'm as introduced by Beatrice. I'm part of the formation team of Culturit Bocconi. I'm a second year undergraduate student in Bocconi, and I'm here to talk about sustainability in this first chapter of Students' Diaries, collaboration with Particle.
Great. So today's topic is very broad. We decided to talk about many things that to us matter a lot with regards to sustainability. And we'll talk about the intergenerational divide that we feel a lot between Gen Z and other generations that are currently in decision-making positions or in general, other generations. And then we'll talk about the relationship that we feel towards institutions, governments, etc., with regards to sustainability and climate change issues. And we'll finish on with an outlook towards the future and how we see ourselves in the future, which role we will play, and how we will be able, if we will be able, to change and shape the world in a more sustainable way. So I guess we can start off with the first topic.
Yeah, the first topic is the generational comparison as introduced by Beatrice. And this comparison is between our generation and the older generation, so the generation of our parents and our grandparents. And our question is how we can communicate and how we can engage, collaborate with these older generations in order to move some steps forward towards sustainability.
Okay. So the main problem for me particularly is when I talk about sustainability with my parents. I guess that's the first-hand experience that most of us have, and I guess that we all feel a bit of a difference in the way we see it and a different way of acting towards sustainability and seeing sustainability as a problem, I would say.
I kind of have a different experience because sometimes I see the same interests between generations, both my parents or my friends. So sometimes it seems like both cares about the climate change, and it depends, really. sometimes Gen Z acts more than other generations, but sometimes not. It really depends, I think.
Surely, this strong difference is certainly more easy also to see between our generation and not our parents' generation, but our grandparents, because they lived and they also worked in a period like the 1960s, a period after the Second World War, where there was the economic boom, the economic expansion. Also, every industry was a growing industry. So, for this reason, in this particular period, there was a lack of consciousness regarding not sustainability, but regarding the respect for for our planet and the rules, the social and environmental rules regarding our planet.
Yes. And as we can see, well, I guess you all can see that someone's parents think that it is a waste of time to think about sustainability. And I feel that actually the fact that another generation grew in a totally different, both economic and social environment, I would say that sustainability was not a priority. And they probably see it as a bit confusing, I would say, to talk about it, because I guess that they have no experience in trying to be sustainable.
Yeah, we also have different perception about environmental concerns, if they have to be prioritized over economic growth or not. Of course, the older generations who lived in an economic boom, they differ from us. Recently, in these years, we see the Great Resignment phenomenon. A lot of millennials and Gen Z workers leave work because they do not put the same value in work, in toxic environmental work. And so we can see this really different perception of economic and also linked also with environmental concerns.
This is surely these are great points, but in my opinion, we share with our parents' generation, we share a sense of attachment, I can say, to our planet, and this is, I think, clear from the point of view where renewable energies are prioritized in not only political but also in the social in these social discussions regarding sustainability. So I don't think that this gap is enormous, but on the other hand, our generation concerns more regarding some other aspects of sustainability. For example, reducing the use of coal, or also the protection of animals, the protection of nature, and also the use of water, air quality, and other points regarding sustainability.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, as Benedetta is saying in the comments, it is also a lot about habits. And I guess that while for us it may be easier to have certain habits and to keep them, and also I guess to change our actions in order to be sustainable, sometimes it is hard for grandparents and parents to change things that they have done in the same way for ages, for like years, and to kind of like change it up a bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think also that this point is very interesting, because it is also, in my opinion, it is also a fact of education. In fact, education is a great red line, I can say, where everyone we can see as everyone can also change his habits with a great education, and with a sense developed, a sense for the planet, a sense and a consciousness for the planet, for the sustainability topic, developed also through education, through schools, and also for this reason, this particular and fundamental, I can say, topic should be discussed and should be rapidly, fastly introduced also in schools, starting not only from the high school, but also from the middle school and the elementary school. So also our generation, in my opinion, is also looking for some points, looking for some institutions and also some examples to follow regarding sustainability. For example, I have an example to propose. The choice to buy only some brands, for example, fashion brands, or also automotive, regarding cars or motorcycles, only brands which respect some sustainable chains of production. So in this way, in this sense, our generation is trying to also take some inspiration from these brands, and to personificate these brands and their main focus is buying them.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yes.
interesting
I
this
don't
point.
know if you agree with me, but I think this is a great point regarding nowadays sense for sustainability and for respect for our planet.
Yeah, of course, it's an interesting point. Of course, we also need action from institutions and governments. But I feel a good perception, a good feeling about the new generation towards a more sustainable and conscious way of buying. There is also this phenomenon, thrifting is very popular between the youth. Um, it's really a good phenomenon to look at.
Surely,
Definitely.
I agree with you.
But also, I would say that I'm not sure if I completely agree with your point, Giovanni, because I feel that um, I don't feel that many people really identify with the brands. I feel like they include them in their lifestyle if they are already like in that path to sustainability, and they use brands that like that are aligned with their thought. But at the same time, I see that like in some cases, you actually identify a lot with the brand itself, and it also defines the way you act and consume.
Okay, now
But
I read a comment by Benedetta from YouTube. She agrees with me, but she also talks about the expensiveness of some brands. In fact, we can see how how Benedetta stresses the fact that many brands which has a green chain, a green production chain. Also for this reason, and also, for example, the material used, if I'm talking about some fashion brands, from this point of view, they have surely a more expensive production chain. We can see this in particular in the fashion sector when we compare, for example, some brands like Shein or like Primark, H&M, which are low quality brands with not a great identity also, but they are very popular also between younger generation, between also also a younger generation, because they are less expensive than other brands. For example, brands which uses particular materials with a research and with a green chain, a green production chain.
Yeah, Benedetta brought up a good point. Also, because we are used to cheap clothes that do not cost that much, and so we think that a product that is made with good quality materials, or that is made by people who are paid the good amount, an ethical amount of money to produce them in good conditions, it's costly, it's expensive, but we're used to buy a lot of clothes to with the less quality, and so they cost less. I think there is a good point also saying the older generations way of consuming and buying products, they were focused on good products, like a good coat made of good quality materials, less than three or four clothes of 3 or 4 coats that will last less. We see the thrifting phenomenon because our grandparents or parents bought really good clothes that are still can be used right now. If I buy something that comes from a fast fashion brand, I think it won't last for 50 or even 70 years because it's made of cheap materials.
Yes. I feel like there is a shift, like in this case, with regards to like buying clothes. I think that like we are, as a younger generation, I feel that we're more of a victim to the fast fashion trends and consumerism in general. Well, actually, with regards to clothes, our like previous generations are probably more sustainable than us in this regard, and I feel that it is important to take that into consideration, because like we often do not think about where what we buy comes from, and we do not think that it takes people, it takes materials, and of course that everything comes at a certain cost, and there is a reason for clothes to cost more. And I feel that we kind of like have to overcome this habit of buying very cheap things in order to be sustainable. And I feel that thrifting is a great way to bridge the two things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thrifting, but also buying, as Beatrice from Greenlight for Business stressed, also buying great quality, high quality fashion products, high quality products, which can last a longer period of our life. And as Christopher also underlined in one of his comments, also we can create a great connection with the product itself. And also connecting with the comment by Lahain from YouTube, our generation is a consuming, more consuming generation, in my opinion. I agree with her because we are at the moment used to buy a lot of fast fashion products. For example, now a TikTok trend, I can say, is the whole. The whole is a sort of a shopping mania, I can say, from fast fashion brands, for example, Shein and Zara. And these TikTokers usually make some videos showing off their new products, but they are all they come from brands which don't respect the which don't respect our environment and don't respect our planet in this sense.
Yeah, I think also because we're born in a society where fast fashion exists and has always existed. Instead, our parents didn't have fast fashion at their time. So we are so used to fast fashion that it's our only way to shop. But right now, having more information, being more conscious, of course, we could shift the market.
Yes. Also,
Yeah,
I feel that the point about getting information is crucial. I feel like
Yeah, the
also
fashion industry is so not transparent about licenses or where they get the materials, how they pay their workers. It's
whole videos are so toxic. I agree with Sarah. They are really a bad trend on not only on TikTok but also on Instagram. I see a lot of old videos, but they are a real toxic trend because they push also the followers to buy more and more fast fashion products and to expand this chain of products against sustainability and against our planet also. And the problem of the information is crucial, and Nicola stresses it in a comment from YouTube. And also information can be surely manipulated. In fact, as everyone maybe saw in the last few days, for the opening of the new store of Primark here in Milan, the newspaper Repubblica, which is a great newspaper, Italian newspaper, stresses how and not stresses but talks about how Primark is a green shop, but on the other hand, we know that Primark hasn't a clear chain, and surely it doesn't respect our planet, doesn't respect all the environment, and uses some materials which aren't great for ourselves, great for our body, and great for all the environment around us.
yes. I mean, how can you expect a shop that makes you pay like 1-2 euros for a T-shirt, or like 5 euros
It's
for a
insane.
T-shirt would be
Their
sustainable?
prices are too low. It's
Yes,
insane.
exactly. So it is really frustrating to see such news that they're obviously, if you know what you're talking about, you would never say that, and it's just like a promotional tool. And I think this really goes into the whole greenwashing trend that so many so many people and so many fashion brands, etc., they are putting forward. And
yeah, we saw also the campaign for the greenwashing, a complete and clear greenwashing campaign from H&M. H&M with a conscious collection, more sustainable fashion. These are words, and this is a campaign produced by a brand, by a real fashion chain, which surely doesn't respect our planet and produces lots of fashion products, lots of clothes, but not respecting all the environment, using really bad materials, plastic materials, low quality materials, and we will have a great proof of this in the next few years.
Also, how they can be sustainable if they like produce 50 collections of clothes per year, like. And Benedetta brought up the theme about institution, the fact that we as youth see some distrust when thinking about governments, how they take action to mitigate the climate change, to reduce the CO2, the greenhouses emissions. And
yeah. And we saw that in 2015, I think, the most important moment regarding the protection and the reduction of emissions of CO2 in our planet was during the COP21 in 2015, when I think more than 150 countries signed this agreement, the Paris Agreement, which talks about the possibility, and not only the possibility, but a mandatory specific guideline to reduce, not to reduce, but to contain the increasing of temperatures to less than 1.5 degrees. And it is a very crucial moment in also for the next few years, and the evolution of our planet and the climate of the planet.
Yeah, and also in November there was the COP26 in Glasgow, and we saw an interest, of course, in deforestation, emissions, coal production. However, we now see that it's really far. We are really far from reducing the use of coal, to turning our back on coal. It's not the end of coal. We saw this with the gas crisis that was brought up with the Ukrainian war. In Europe, we're trying to see how we can produce energy not using the one that comes from Russia, and we can go back. Some governments think about going back on coal, so it's not the end of coal as we thought in November, but it's still an open debate, and this could delay our transition to a more green and clean way of producing energy. And this is not good for us and for the environment, of course.
Absolutely. And I feel this also goes to how can we find alternative sources of energy. And I feel this also relates to, should we go back to nuclear energy, and would it be the right choice for a sustainable future? And we really had a debate even before this conversation on
Also, we want to know from the public if you have some point of view regarding nuclear energy, because in my opinion, and also I know also in Beatrice's opinion, nuclear energy is a clean way to produce energy, a clean alternative also to compensate this lack of supply from Russia, with the complete stop that maybe in the next months will will be approved by the European Union. So we don't know. Maybe the nuclear could be the next the next way, the next renewable energy. But this would be a step back to make a step forward towards sustainability, and this could be very interesting. But also this is a serious topic, and many people are against nuclear energy, as we know, because they voted. They are scared of nuclear energy. So we will see in the next months, or maybe years.
Yeah, also because we cannot only produce energy with the renewables, because there are some cons. They have some disadvantages, and that's why we are using coal. We're using fossil fuels to produce energy. We really should reconsider nuclear energy, but I don't think it's. We will see in not, I don't think in this decade, because also we nuclear energy needs a lot of time to be put on and to start producing energy. So it's still an open debate, but we will see really maybe in 2030 or 2040. We don't know.
We'll see. But from my point of view, linking with what Beatrice said before, regarding the possibility to reopen some carbon station to produce energy, I don't know if I can trust a government, if I can trust a politician who proposes to the country to reopen these stations, to reopen this station to produce energy, but with lots of emissions and lots of problems for all the environment, for all the planet, with great CO2 emissions. So I don't know. This is a tricky question, and also this could be very dangerous for us, and for the planet, and for future years. Who knows?
Yes. However, I guess that we have to overcome a bit of like fear towards nuclear energy. I feel that is something that also goes into the intergenerational divide, because like for us, we did not see the outcomes of Chernobyl, for example, and while previous generations, I guess, they are more scared to engage again in nuclear energy. And I feel that is also, I mean, for the case of Italy, we had more than one referendum to reintroduce or ban nuclear energy, and the outcome has been the exact same. So I guess it also goes depending on who votes and who is in the decision-making position to propose new solutions, I guess.
Yeah, and I think also the outcome would be really different if there is there will be a referendum, because we as Gen Z will vote. It could be really a different turnover. And I think we saw this. Some news were talking about the 2020 election in USA, and we could think that about not a generational change, because Biden is like the oldest man to be the president of America, but a lot of Gen Z and millennials voted, and had a strong impact on how the elections turned out. So we could really see a reshape of politics and politics because of us voting.
Yes, and also the representatives will actually getting younger. So as decision makers and leaders and politicians get younger, they probably will bring on new issues and new solutions as well, I would say.
Yeah, and we also experienced and saw a young figure as Greta Thunberg, a shocking figure in my opinion, completely highlighted this topic, which in this period in I think 2016 wasn't a trending topic, but with her campaign in Sweden, she highlighted, she expressed her opinion regarding sustainability, regarding climate change, and also she make our governments, not only in Europe but also in the US, open their eyes on this fundamental theme. So we saw how the young in this way can have some great ideas, can a revolution also can create a revolution in the politics. And Christopher asked us, should people over 30 years old be able to vote? We don't know. It's a it's a strong question, and also surely very interesting. But they don't vote for the future. They vote for themselves and for the present. Our generations vote for the future years. For example, for the sustainability, we have a great sense for sustainability, a great sense for the respect of our planet, for the respect of all the environment, and older generation. I don't know if they have this real sense, this real this real sense for our planet, as we discussed before.
I think we should change the topic now and see what about the decision-making class, the political class. We talk about voters, and we could talk about now about politicians. When we as Gen Z will be able to be part of the decision-making class. I think if we make a computation, it will take 20 or even more, 30 years to become a politician in most countries. We know the average age is between 50, 60. There are some exceptions of 40 years old prime ministers, like also Macron, when was elected, was 39. But also the New Zealand prime minister, the Finland prime minister, they're between around 40 years old. So yeah, maybe we won't really, we are far from being part of the political decision-making class.
Yeah, but we see also as these politicians, younger politicians, have have a stronger sense for our environment, and have a stronger sense of respect for our planet, and respect also for the topic of the climate change, which is nowadays fundamental and very trending. I don't know. I have some opposing thoughts regarding this, but faith in today's economy and political institution is a existential threat. Yeah, it's real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, also because we talk about becoming a politician, making decision to change our future, but we really need a drastic change right now in this decade. And we, as Gen Z and also millennials, can only vote and, of course, go on strikes, make our voice heard, and but we cannot really make a decision at the level of institution and government because we're not part of it. And as the on I think at the start of April, the third part of the climate change report by EPCC went out, and they're really stressing. They're not stressing, they're just saying, okay, right now is the time to make decision. The peak of greenhouse gas emissions has to be in the 2025 on the year 2025, so in 2 years and a half. So we really need the change right now. We really need our governments to take action, and drastic action, of course.
Surely, and also in the graphic before, if I can see again the graphic, we see has without any climate policies, also without any policies from our politicians, the increase of the temperatures could reach 5 degrees, and this is a lot above the 1.5 limit discussed and signed in the Paris conference during the 2015. So they are necessary. These policies are nowadays necessary.
Yes, these
The
next
thing is
years
that-
are critical.
Yes, and the point is that when we will be able, well, as Gen Z will be able to actually act, it will probably be too late.
Yeah, too
So it is hard, I guess, for us to not to have clear in mind what should be done, but not being able to do it. And especially, I guess that the main problem now is getting these points forward to those who are able to change things. But there is the intergenerational divide that comes back again, and is really it is really a weird moment for us to be here.
Yeah, I think, but we're not. We can make some actions, like we can change some parts of our habits, our lifestyles. I don't know. The IPCC really highlighted the fact that reducing meat eating, going to a more plant-based type of diet will make a change. And yeah, so I think that we're not that we can make some positive action, we can make a positive impact, but we really have the courage to act, and it's not always the case. That's why I said before that sometimes my experience is different. Like I see the interest in both generations, but who is really taking actions? I see some kind of pessimism that some I don't know, diet changes won't make any difference anyway because it's only you. And what about the other 7 billion people living on the planet? But I think there is point in changing our behavior, and if we all could, I don't know, one by one make a difference. I don't know. It's kind of I don't know, a comfort thing to think about.
Yeah,
We
and I also I see as on some platforms, some streaming platforms, for example Netflix, all the documentaries and the series regarding and discussing these topics regarding sustainability, regarding diet changes are a trending topic. They are shared by also many influencers. So I think that the this topic is increasing. Also, the awareness regarding this is increasing and is also shared not only by our generation, but it is also shared by other generations. And
Yes, it's
maybe
also
together
it's
we will try to make a change.
yes, it's also a lot about like mutual influence. So one could think, yes, if one person does that, what is going to how it is going to help. But then actually, one person talks talks about it with another one, and then another one, and another one. So like you can have a longer chain
Change.
and a longer
Yeah.
influence. And I feel that's also a good way to look at it, because like otherwise we would be desperate. But it is like I feel that, you know, a few of my friends turned vegetarian, and I think that really changed a lot for me, more than seeing someone that talks about being a vegetarian.
I
So
can bring my
yeah.
experience because I'm vegan, and every time I go out with my friends that eat at a restaurant, we always talk about environmental issues, me being vegan and eating plant-based, and I really see the difference because they're really really considering it. They always talk me about their interest in changing their diet towards a more sustainable one. And yeah, my experience is this one, and I'm agreeing with you.
We have also a very interesting quote by Christopher, written by Christopher on YouTube, and which says that also a small group of people can change the world and can start, as Beatrice said, can start this change. So maybe with this little change, this little change we can improve the situation, not maybe in the present, but in the future, with this chain of changes we can improve something.
Yeah, I think we can see a difference. Maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when you go to a supermarket, you could really see, I don't know, one type of plant-based milk, and only that in the old supermarket. But however, right now we go, I don't know, you go to a supermarket and you see a whole bunch of type of plant-based products. Why? Because consumer asks for plant-based products, and the more consumer asks for it, we can see a change from it. Of course, supermarket, I don't know. I don't think they want to put plant-based product because they think they're more sustainable, because I don't know, they want to make profit. Okay, but me as a consumer, if a supermarket offers me a type of plant-based product, I go to the supermarket and buy it. So I don't know. I think we as consumer could really rethink about our power on shaping the market.
Yeah, and also a suggestion: oat milk is really better than cow milk. I know, because I only drink oat milk, and it's so better.
Also, they I think this week Alpro brand made a new milk that it's like, it tastes like milk. I don't know. I don't need milk from I think 2 years, for 2 years, but it really is a plant-based milk that tastes like milk. And they put on the label,
Crazy.
this is not milk, but they put milk. This is a kind of tricky subject because brands that produce plant-based milk cannot name some milk as milk because for the European regulations, they're not milk.
It's
And
the
so,
same with hamburgers, right? If I'm
yeah,
not wrong.
same.
Okay.
And so Alpro did this kind of interesting. How do I handle the question about being vegan? It's so complex. Like we had Easter holidays, and I brought my plant-based lasagna and other type of typical, I don't know, traditional meals, and some relatives of mine ate them, and they said they were really good. So that's my and
Vegan lasagna.
I kind of handle a question like this, and I just state what I think, and people don't really argue with me. Also, because I don't know what needs to be argued about. But maybe I talk with really I don't know, kind people, and I don't know.
You're really
But,
convincing.
Okay.
Good. So I think there's also a last comment by Katerina. I don't know if we want
Yeah,
to
comment by
address it
Katerina,
before we end. And I feel that it is a really important point because like we can all talk, about the things that we should do and we should not do, etc., but we have like a broader environment in which we live, and there are a lot of problems that we have to tackle. But I guess that it is not that hard in the end to put them together. I feel that going in a sustainable direction does not necessarily, how can I say that? Does not necessarily go against other problems that we have. It could also be like I think the objective is to make sustainable choices a part of our life that are not that hard and do not go against any like other problems. I don't know if I made myself clear.
Yeah, it's clear. And also, as Christopher says, it's also difficult to make an action, to make an impact, to start this climate action, and maybe not maybe, but surely we need the help from the institutions, from the governments, to finance and also to help us doing these climate actions.
also, I think that we forget about other issues in some economic crisis, because if you were talking about the environmental crisis, because we don't think that it's affecting our lives. We think that it's an issue that we will have to deal in the future. So we have time, no problems, no worries. But it's not like that, because maybe I don't know. I talk about my experience. Right now, the only part of my life that has been affected by the climate change has been I don't know, some extreme environmental, extreme climate changes events. In summer, it's really hot. In winter, it's really cold. But we really forget about other countries that are dealing with really, really big extreme kind of changes events. And I don't know, I think that something is not affecting us nearly. We think that it's not our problem, but it's our planet, and we should really rethink about this problem as the main issue we have to face in the future.
I feel that, yeah, tackling that like the problems of climate change could also help in certain like social and economic crises as well, because like a lot of people relocate from countries that are affected by climate change, and they go to other countries. So I guess that they're all interrelated problems, and but I totally see the point that there are a lot of things that we should take care of at the moment, and a lot of things together. So
yeah, also we talk about climate change because of course it's the main issue, but we should really start naming the event as an environmental crisis, because there is also deforestation, the acidification of seas. There's so many problems and issues. Of course, the animals that are disappearing. So there are so many issues, and we should not only think about climate change, but also for the whole thing as an environmental crisis. And also, I think that one thing we could say is that sometimes we see some phrases, there is no planet B. But yes, there is a planet B, but we could not be part of it, because the planet will recover from the future that we will expect if we do not take actions. But we, as the humankind, could not see it, because we're really going to an extension path of our humankind. And I think that's the most frightening thing about the whole issue. Yeah, I was looking at the comments.
Okay, so I think we can end this discussion here.
I feel like Lahane actually has like the best
sorry,
catchphrase to end. So I guess that's the good way to finish it.
We can do
But-
much, but we can do something. This is
exactly. I guess that's the main point that
the
we can.
perfect ending for this discussion. Yeah. Okay, we wanna thank everyone who attended this student diaries, this first event of this collaboration between Culturit and Particle. We wanna thank everyone also behind the stage for the help, and we will see you in the next steps of this collaboration.
And also thank you, Beatrice, for joining us and helping us. And
thank you for inviting me.
Your experience. And I guess we'll go get a beer, as Benedetta was saying before, so that we can
water,
talk.
not beer, but it's a great joke.
Okay. We hope you have a great day and great night, and think about sustainability in your spare time. So
Do not only think about it, but act.
Act. Yeah. Small
Take
act.
a good action every day towards a sustainable future, and that will make a positive impact.
Sure. Good evening. Bye.
thank you, everyone.